Welcome to the BAM Sports Show.
I carefully placed all of it in various trash cans around.
Any other headlines you guys are interested in tomorrow?
I'll poop in a urinal.
It's going to be a wet one.
He shoots. He scores. You suck.
Rick's wife is going to make him sleep in the bathroom tub tonight.
A dark horse candidate of where I may eventually want to end up living for good.
Welcome to a brand new sports show experience coming through your wavelengths. Let's get ready to have some fun. So sit back, crack open a drink, and let's talk some sports.
And let's talk some sports indeed. Welcome to the BAM Sports Show, the best goddamn show on Friday nights.
Woo!
What happened?
Welcome, fam.
Like all
Welcome,
over the
fam.
place.
I know. Sometimes it gets
buddy.
it fucking dead nuts on. Other times it gets it, way the fuck wrong.
That would be my fight
Yes,
music.
sir.
We are not even going to start with this bullshit. So,
Oh yeah, get that fucking.
Nah, he deserves it, man.
Yeah.
Off your head.
He
It's
has
his
earned his
time. Yeah.
what a big week of sports. What a big weekend of sports coming up. And we are only 1 week away from the Royal Rumble, in which Keith and I will be attending live and in person.
Maybe. If I make it through this show without getting kicked off 17 times.
Yeah.
Well, we're 2 for 2,
Yeah.
so we'll see how it goes
We need
tonight.
We need a Keith counter in the corner.
Keith counter, there we go. Rick, rip up one of
Yeah.
those overlays for us, baby.
Yeah, right.
The Keith counter. Love it. So, big week in sports. We do want to start off. I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm not even going to attempt to say it. The Warriors assistant basketball coach, 46 years old, I believe, this year, had a heart attack on Tuesday night at their team dinner. He did pass on Wednesday, so I want to make sure that we acknowledge that. I apologize. I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But you are in our thoughts and prayers. His family, he's got, I think, 2 kids. He was a Serbian basketball, pretty much all-star, all-pro over there. He's been with the Warriors for a couple years. So life is too short. 46 is definitely too young, so I want to make sure we started off with addressing that and making sure we brought that to everyone's attention.
For sure.
Go see a doctor. I don't care how healthy you think you are. Go see a doctor.
100%.
46. That's
46. Yep.
Very young.
Coming up.
Very, very young.
Keith,
Ryan's like, oh, shit. That's like next week.
Keith will be there before me.
Keith's the oldest one on the show, aren't you?
Correct. Yes.
You old bitch.
I am.
But you know what keeps Ryan young?
Marijuana.
The blood of virgins.
I was like, marijuana. Fortnite.
The blood
Not
of virgins.
What?
Not
Oh,
Fortnite.
Apex. Apex. You play Apex.
I play Sea of Stars now. It's like Chrono
Anyway.
Trigger.
What
It's
is it?
I've been playing a lot of Pokemon lately.
Have you? What kind?
Yeah. I don't know. It's the
esports, Rick.
green one.
Get with it.
So I got one of these things online. Have you seen these before on Amazon? Like $80,
Yeah.
but they come with like 1,000 games. It has a whole like Crash Bandicoot trilogy on it, and like every Game Boy Color game, all that on there.
Oh, really?
My
yeah.
coworker got one.
I don't know if that's
those.
quite like every one of them, but a shit ton of them.
They're
And
very
I
cool.
was super skeptical. I thought it'd be like one level on each of those things, but it's like, God damn, it's got all of it. So
This is
place
not a
does
paid
it.
advertising. It could be a paid advertising, so we're
Could
not
be.
going to mention the name of the company because they're
I
not.
don't know what the name is.
Chinaman comes soon. What Danny doesn't realize is that program that he bought is actually downloading spyware software onto his
Very possible.
his like the other
Very likely.
electronics in his
Very,
house.
very likely.
My designated Chinaman's just scrolling through all my bullshit history.
Yeah. They've already deleted their spyware after looking at your fucking browsing history. They're like, what the fuck? A bot! A bot!
Have you guys ever watched the show Community?
No.
Does anybody watch Community?
I watched like 1, 2. Hey!
Hey, Robert!
Rob,
Big
what's up,
Rob.
buddy?
We miss you, my man. We miss you.
Big Rob in the house.
Yeah,
Well,
Rob's
never mind.
watching.
Mike,
he can be on the show.
Yeah, he could just
Yeah.
easily log in.
He could.
There's enough
Yeah,
room. We just get rid of
absolutely.
these, the things on the side here.
Social.
The BAM Sports Show.
I was
and
gonna
the
have a
social
joke
media. We'll
about
just
the-
scooch
the-
that over.
Chinaman, designated Chinaman on your scrolling, but nobody's seen Community, so it wouldn't land. It's a good show, though. It's
You want to
funny.
try?
Yeah.
Anyways, sports.
Anyway, sports. This is
Yeah.
the sports show. Let's get into it. NFC wildcard round, or AFC, NFC, NFL wildcard
Just start with the
weekend.
NFC. Let Keith get his shit out of the way.
Why
I'll
are
tell you
gonna get my
what.
show?
The Lions get a win.
The Lions
and the
did
Tampa
get
Bay
a win.
Buccaneers get a win. That was
Yes,
the
they
NFC
did.
for the weekend.
I called
Nope.
it. I called it. I called it.
Go ahead, Keith. Wrong one.
That's Ryan.
There you go. Go
You
ahead.
can put me back up. I'll go off on the Packers.
You can go off on the Packers.
No, I got Keith's back on this one, man.
What
Go
the
ahead, Keith.
What the fuck did I tell you, each and every one of you last week?
Some
I was
bullshit.
pretty surprised.
Some bullshit that happened?
Yeah.
I
No.
gotta hand it to you,
It's
Keith. You know,
bullshit
I had
that
bet.
happened?
I had bet on the Cowboys, but I rooted
Yeah.
obviously very, very heavily for the Green Bay Packers, and they won.
They
Not
did
only
win.
did they win, but sorry, Keith, you go ahead.
But
Fuck
I
the final
rooted.
score.
I rooted for an asteroid, by the way.
Didn't happen.
I did as well.
Didn't
all right, I'm
happen.
going to talk on Keith's behalf real
Blake,
quick. Because
Like,
when
you
you talk
wouldn't have known
about
you didn't watch the game.
What?
You didn't acknowledge the game, so you wouldn't have known it happened.
I don't. I mean, what happened? Was there a football game that even happened?
Blake.
all right, let me
Blake.
jump in here. Let me jump in.
Hold on.
When-
I'm going to do something. I'm going to mute Blake and I. Because this is Keith's time.
This is Keith's time.
Okay,
Go ahead,
I want to.
You just got really quiet too. Who's the fuck's?
All right.
One of your mics is like fucking feedback central.
It might be mine because
No, I can't hear it. I can't hear it anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's probably me.
It is you.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
He's got feedback. Okay.
Keith really loves
So-
the Bears. Fuck you.
All right. I want to jump in for Keith real quick here because when he started talking about Jordan Love and all that, he's got like all the best stats for the last 8 weeks, and we all just went quiet and we're like, "The fuck? What are you talking about?" And he's like, "No, he's got the best, most touchdowns, the yards, the touchdown interception ratio." We all looked at each other. We all just went quiet. Like, are you sure? And then I guess we kind of just saw it actually for the first time in the last 8 weeks because I think I've seen 2 Jordan Love games all year except for this playoffs. And it's like, holy shit, Keith wasn't like talking out of his ass. So
I very rarely talk out of my ass.
I don't believe that. I'm not going to give you that much credit.
Like
What?
Ace Ventura?
Yes, like exactly like Ace Ventura.
Excuse me,
But-
I need to ask you a question. By the way, do you have a breath mint?
I told you on this show
I gotta hand
exactly
it. I tell you what.
what was going to happen, and
You
it
did.
happened.
You 100% did.
I laid out a game plan, exactly what LaFleur was going to do, and he did it. He ran at their pass rushers. How many pressures did Micah Parsons have in this game?
0.
How many sacks did the Green Bay Packers
The game
give up in
didn't
this
fucking
game?
happen.
Rick,
How
I
many
got a question
sacks
for you.
did they have?
Rick,
I would love to jump in here at some point.
Rick,
Go ahead, buddy,
you
go
are the only other non-biased person in this dogfight. Would you put Jordan Love on
Non-biased.
the
He fucking hates Dallas. What are you talking about?
Would you put Jordan
He
Love
also
in
hates
the
the Packers.
same tier, not necessarily better, but maybe in the same tier as Stroud right now? Because you
Yeah,
look at this as his
I
rookie
would-
year in a way.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. And honestly, I would. Outside of just the Cowboys game, which, I will be the first to admit. I mean, the tape is out there. You can go back. I had bet on the Cowboys to win. Obviously, I rooted very, very heavily against them.
Yeah, me
but
too.
Jordan Love has absolutely looked like the real deal, man. All those stats that Keith brought up, I mean, the stats don't
They're
lie.
real.
You know what I'm saying?
They're
He
real.
looked
Yeah,
good.
I just wasn't paying
without-
attention. Yeah.
He looked good in all of those games.
Do mechanics
Most of the
matter.
time without his full complement of weapons.
Mhm.
And then for the most part, as far as I know, they were pretty much healthy against Dallas and just absolutely embarrassed them at a place that they had won 16 games straight.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
yeah, no, absolutely. I will give Jordan Love his flowers all day long.
Listen.
Blake, I love you. I do. But you do not get a vote on how good Jordan Love is playing if you refuse to watch the games.
Bro, I have watched quarterbacks my entire life throw off
I
their back
understand.
foot and be fucking gunslingers, and the fucking
But-
national media tells me they're
but
fucking
you
awful. Correct?
Cannot have a vote. You cannot have a vote in this. A vote if you are not going to acknowledge the game or watch the game. You're basing everything you said on Jordan Love off of one throw that you saw, and it was the Thanksgiving game.
If you think I've
Right.
seen one throw all season long.
Well, if you refuse to acknowledge the
Yeah,
game,
Rob is out there too. Right there, Rob says he would also agree with me. Film is out there, and watch out for the Pack this coming week. You know, this is what I will say about that. One, obviously as a Seahawks fan, of course I'm going to root against the team that's playing against them. And once again, perhaps to my own detriment, once again, I would, if I were to put money on it, I would probably say the Niners are going to win. To me, I don't think there's anybody in the NFC that is going to dethrone them right now. But I will tell you what, just like I said against Dallas, I see a world where Green Bay could win.
You saw the needle move now.
Absolutely.
Now it's like, oh.
I tell you what, I bet you San Francisco is not going to take Green Bay nearly as lightly as Dallas did. I'll tell you that much.
Ronnie, you were going to say something. What were you going to
McCarthy's
say?
a shithead.
What?
You were going to say something. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was probably going to say something. I don't remember. It's probably something nice about Jordan Love, but it's fine. We've moved past that.
I'm glad you
That's all right.
forgot that.
No, all right. So if you're comparing Stroud to Love, like if they were both coming out of college, you know, same time, rookie kind of guys, and Love put up the season he had this year, then, you know, obviously that's your runaway rookie of the year.
But it's kind of his rookie year because this is his first time kind of coming out.
He has had, what, 3 years before this?
He's been in the
fourth
offense
year?
for 4 years now, for 4 years total.
So he's had time to, like, yeah, okay, his body, like, physically doesn't have that wear and tear on him. He's a rookie physically. But he's also, you know, mature, able to, you know, put those years just right in the pine and studying from Rodgers, you know, to good use.
Like
So
Brett
I think
Favre
that,
from
like,
Rodgers.
I get when people bring up that argument, but it kind of denigrates what C.J. Stroud did this year as a rookie coming straight out of college to a rookie head coach, a rookie OC, you know, that mess in Texas. Like, that is more, I mean, that's more impressive to me than Jordan Love's season this year. But that's just because,
I agree.
I mean, that's just because, again, Stroud's a rookie in that situation.
He's
like,
a true rookie, and he
true
didn't have anybody
rookie.
to learn behind.
Right.
The book
He,
is
like,
still
learned-
out on both of them, really.
Yeah. That's what I've been saying this whole time is
Next year, they both could suck.
Yeah, it could be RG3 all over.
I
again.
need to see year 2. I need to see either a similar year 2 or a step up in year 2 for me to really take them seriously.
Yeah.
But you kind of that's why I kind of put him in the same camp in a way. I absolutely agree with what Stroud is doing is more impressive because absolutely a true rookie.
Right.
But, you know, this is
With
both their first time starting the
Right.
season
with Stroud.
as start.
With Stroud, for me, I would give him an extra year before I'm officially out on him. You know, Love doesn't get
sure.
that benefit because he's been in that system so long. He's, you know, older, able to process more. You know,
Sure.
we all know
Get to
a
learn
lot of
behind Aaron Rodgers
quarterbacks.
for a little bit.
Yeah, there's a ton of first-round quarterbacks, a ton of, you know, high draft picks that come out swinging the rookie year, and then they fall off for a couple of years, and then they pick it back up.
And their bodies are still developing coming out of college, like at 22 or whatever. You know, it's like, you know, they say like you're not fully like developed till you're like 26.
Right.
And especially the guys who play in the trenches really, really feel that when, you know, they're getting tackled by real men.
Like we all want.
Rob, you are absolutely 1,000% correct.
Like, someone
Aside
jump
from,
in here.
you know, all the flowers that I will live,
Look at
aside from
me.
the fact that you are 100% right about, you know, all the flowers that were given the Packers, I am so glad. Like, I just got to say this to Cowboys fans. In fact,
Suck
I will
it.
make this, I'll bring
Hey.
myself here front and
There
center.
you go. I
The
still don't know how to
Dallas
do that.
Cowboys, year in and year out. How you feeling now? Every single year we hear the same thing. The
you
Dallas
still the
Cowboys
boys?
beat up on bad teams. And they get super hyped up. all this. Oh man, it's our year, Dallas Cowboys, baby. We got 5 Super Bowl rings. Yeah.
Year.
You know what I'm saying? But then this is what happens. I don't think, aside from my like personal bias against the Dallas Cowboys, I personally don't think that with Mike McCarthy as the head coach or Dak Prescott as their quarterback, and dare I say, while Jerry Jones is still alive as their owner and GM, I don't see them going to the Super Bowl. But I also think that they're kind of hamstrung right now with Dak Prescott's contract. There's really not a ton on the market that they can go and get. I'm not sure what type of draft capital that they have, to possibly go and trade.
Baby.
They got Trey Lance. Maybe they could try with Trey Lance, but I feel like they've kind of put all their eggs in one basket, and they're kind of hamstrung. To me, from everything I've been reading, it doesn't seem like Bill Belichick has had any interest in signing with them. And so
they sound like they're pretty solid with McCarthy. It sounds like they went out. And I really think it would be really, really dumb to reshuffle the deck, because regardless of them losing the first round, we have to give
For 3 straight
our laurels to Dallas too, is that they had a fucking great year. They had a really good year, probably their best year in a decade at least.
No, they went 12-5 last year as well.
12-5
Did
last year, 12-5 the year before.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years of 12-5. But
God damn, dude. Okay.
again, just to be
3
embarrassed
straight.
by Jimmy Garoppolo at home, by Mr. Irrelevant, and then by the number 7 seed.
I do
Mike
have breaking news
McCarthy-
real quick.
Mike McCarthy's kind of like the evolved version of Jeff Fisher,
Yeah,
right? Like he's
we're not
the-
doing this
you know, it's
12-5 bullshit.
like, right? Yeah, fuck 8-8. We're gonna do 12-5 and lose in the first round consistently.
Yeah.
I just to me it doesn't tell me Dallas is serious about winning. Something has to change, right? Like
They're one good draft away from doing this again next year. Exactly. They're stuck in a time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
it's not right.
And I will tell you what, you know what else I really love about that loss? The Dallas Cowboys lost, but what was so cool about it is this next game that we're about to recap, Jared Goff is so vindicated because of last weekend.
Oh yeah.
Because that absolute dumpster fire of a call that the refs made against the Lions when they played the Cowboys, when you could see 68 like up in the dude's, like with shy of touching the ref, he was up in the ref's face. You know what I'm saying? And then so there's that. And then Jared Goff goes out and in an absolute thriller of a game beats the team that treated him like absolute garbage on the way out. And now, because the Dallas Cowboys got embarrassed at their own house, not only did we witness the Detroit Lions host their first playoff game in over 30 years, now they get to host another one next Sunday because the Dallas Cowboys lost. It is so awesome.
Go Lions.
And if the Packers take care of business in Santa Clara,
Santa
Santa
Clara.
Clara, yeah.
Yeah, Santa Clara.
the Field of Jeans. That's my favorite. I love that one. If they take care of business out there, the Lions will get to host.
The NFC
3.
Championship.
Yeah.
How insane is that going to be? I mean, I don't know if y'all watched how much of that game. Oh, me too. Me too. And I don't know how much you watched of that game, that Lions-Rams game, but the crowd there was absolutely nuts. What do you think they're going to be like next weekend when, oh, shit, we get to do it all over again? And if they host the NFC Championship, my God.
Against a rival.
How do you
Against
guys
the division
think,
rival.
Yeah.
How do you guys think that Tampa?
Nuts.
How do you guys think that Tampa's going to travel with the cold weather? Like, I think they're going to prepare to
That
Well, do we
reporter.
want to?
I came this
Hold on.
close to saying it's an indoor stadium. I know this one.
Do we want to recap the Lions Texans
Danny,
game?
do you know what
before
we're
we get
talking
into
about?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I was saying.
okay.
I was this close to saying it's an indoor stadium, then I caught that you were.
God, you
They
know
also have a report.
that reporter got back to the fucking truck and was like, "You motherfucker."
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Before
Got
we
embarrassed.
move
Got super
on,
embarrassed.
Spot Track has a quote unquote potential out of 2024, so this year for Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. It would leave $61.9 million of dead cap for just a year. That's just 1 year, though. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's
But
worth
still.
it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth the change yet.
Yeah, it's oof.
And then
You're
it
stuck
does
with him.
look. It looks like he's got a couple of void years, void years for cap purposes. So really, he only has 1 year left on this contract
Yes.
because his next
But
two
like a $60
seasons
million
on the
year.
contract are void years.
All right, so let's go.
I
Let's
don't
go AFC.
understand.
We gotta talk AFC. I guess.
Yep.
Well, no, we gotta talk Tampa, Philadelphia. What the fuck happened to Philly?
Their
I told you.
defense
I told
so-
you exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I told you that the Buccaneers were going to absolutely embarrass the Eagles, and that's exactly what they did.
I don't think that they embarrassed them.
The score was like 32-9
Wasn't it 25-9?
or something like that. I thought it was like 32.
It was like it was close. It was like a
32 to
7-point
9.
game.
32
32
32
Okay,
to
but
9.
it was a 7-point game going in. If we're talking about, we're not taking into effect final scores. Gotta take it. I mean, it was a 7-point, 8-point game going into the fourth.
I still think you got to take the score into account.
You're going to take the
Y'all
Packers
fucking
Cowboys?
just-
No, I mean that's fair because really, the final score of the
Can't have your fucking
Packers
cookies, too.
Cowboys
I'm
game
not.
was not. Let's
Yeah,
see. No, so they were up 16-9.
The
And then-
Cowboys Packers game finished 48-32, and it wasn't even that close.
So it
Right.
was
No, I agree.
25-9 going into the fourth quarter.
Then they just scored. They
So
just
do you guys
Go ahead.
do you guys have a theory of when the Eagles, if there's a specific event that just changed the trajectory for the Eagles?
Something happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened.
I'll tell you what happened.
Tell us.
Big Dom was not on the sideline.
That's what,
Yeah, but he was on the
that's what it
sideline
is.
on. He was on the sideline on Monday.
The magic had already been broken.
Yeah,
for
but
the season.
yeah, it had already been broken. It had already been
Yeah,
broken.
they removed the Dom, and the spell was broken.
Did you
They
see the
turned into
Fletcher Cox
pumpkins.
interview?
No.
No.
When they asked Fletcher Cox about like Nick Sirianni's job being on the line, he was like, "What? What the fuck are you talking about? You're a fucking clown, bro. Get out of my face." Like that was the actual interview.
Clown, bro.
Fucking
We
great.
got another one. Clown question.
Fucking
bro.
great.
Also, I
mean-
forgot to mention this, but this is so I don't have a Lions jersey, but this kind of fake Battlehawks jersey was the closest thing I have to it because I'm rooting for the Lions to go all the way now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Right now. I am rooting for a Lions Ravens Super Bowl.
I'm here for it.
We don't have
I'm
to say
rooting
what I'm
for
rooting for, right?
Lions Texans Super Bowl, but I don't see
Well,
it happening.
I'm here for that
Yeah.
too.
I'd be here for that.
All right, other games. AFC. We'll go AFC. Chiefs?
Houston
Okay.
fucking spanked the Browns.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
Who
God
called that one
damn.
on this show?
You did.
Pretty sure
I
was
will
the
tell
only
you
one.
what.
I love
Yeah, you
one.
did.
They-
One.
I was wrong.
They had
I was
we
way
were
wrong.
all wrong.
Yeah.
They had the
No, we
perfect.
weren't all wrong. Y'all were wrong.
Well, you of course. They had the perfect game plan against the Cleveland Browns. You know, Joe Flacco, as great as he's been, he still obviously has an arm, but he has no mobility whatsoever. And
What
it
was
seemed-
their
it
game plan?
felt
Let
like-
Joe Flacco throw interceptions?
It felt like the Texans' game plan was to blitz like almost the entire game.
Yes.
So I have a Flacco theory. Hear me out.
He's a Browns player.
Rookie of the year. He hurt his arm earlier this year somehow. And when he came and tried out for the Browns, it was like, and he was like, oh shit, I got it back. Got tackled in the last game.
and lost it.
Oof. It's like when Rowan Gardner lost
Blow
his
it!
speed.
Oh no!
That's what happened.
Have you guys seen the clip
Flacco
of
got Rookie of the Year.
Ryan's talking to Christian Harris before that pick six? He literally tells him what's going to happen. He's like, watch the quarterback's eyes, watch it, and then as soon as it fucking happens, he steps in front of it, takes it to the house for pick six.
This is what he's going to do. This is how you're going to react. Then you're going to pick and you're going to score. It's exactly what he said.
Literally exactly what he said and exactly what fucking like. You have just gained that player's trust forever. I mean, think about that. Like, you tell a player this is what's going to happen. Like, that's nuts.
You want to like talk about like teams of destiny? It kind of like there's a few years where you just have just something in you that goes, okay, that's the team that's going to win this year, or like these are the teams that are going to be in the at least the conference finals. Like right now, the Texans are giving me that vibe of like
I would agree with you.
They're gonna get to a game away from the Super Bowl.
So that means they're beating Baltimore this weekend.
At that point, though, where they had been to where they are now, like, you've got to give D'Amico Ryans coach.
Oh yeah,
right.
They finally came out from under the absolute shit pile that Bill O'Brien left them in.
Dude,
now at Ohio State,
flaming and fucking burning. It was a tire fire.
Mm-hmm. No.
Ohio State's doing everything they can. They're throwing so much money to Alabama players right now.
The one caveat I would say, though, is if the Lions do win the Super Bowl, then I think, like, okay, that's like a Joe Madden type thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you give it to him for winning the Super Bowl and build a statue next to the stadium of him.
Who?
Dan Campbell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
Now, my question is, in the statue, did he put the dip cup?
Yes.
That just spits
He's
into?
nude. He's nude, fully erect, hanging long.
It's actually a dip.
It's actually a fountain, and it really what it is it's that old like bumper sticker of Calvin pissing on something.
Yeah.
And it's just the NFL shield, and it's a fountain. But instead of Calvin, it's Dan Campbell.
I was going to say it could be a statue of him like gnawing somebody's kneecap off.
Oh, no, yeah. That's in one of his hands. He's holding and biting a knee like a severed leg.
Is that a chicken
And it's
wing?
to scale. It's to scale and very realistic, and it's terrifyingly erotic.
So his dick's literally touching the ground?
I was just thinking with the Lombardi holding it like this.
Oh, boy. What a sports show we are. All right. Other AFC games.
That game that killed people in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah,
did it really?
They found 3 dudes in some guy's house dead. And the authorities right now are saying, or behind or whatever, saying that they froze to death.
Unreal.
They were all in Chiefs garb.
Garbage is what he
Chiefs
meant.
garbage.
Garbage.
Boy.
Did you see that the Bills are like, there's like a crazy amount of fans over there that are shoveling snow.
Yes.
There at Orchard Park. Like, they're like, no, fuck that. Like, we are not getting snowed out of this game. We are going to be here at this damn game.
Yeah, they're offering $20 an hour again.
I absolutely love the Bills, for paying these people to do this. Because you know that is an area with depressed incomes and stuff like that.
And I'm pretty sure there's another franchise that has their fans shovel snow, but they don't pay their fans.
We do too fucking pay them. You piece of shit.
All right, owner.
They get stock in the team.
Owner,
they pay them in terrible fucking franchise stadium.
Thank you for shoveling. Here's your shares.
And then they steal their credit card numbers when they're at the game buying food.
Oh my god!
Hey, dude, those guys.
All right.
Bullshit ass Cincinnati.
So
we're not actually on to Cincinnati because they are at home.
Not playing.
They stunk it up.
Miami. Oof. Huh?
I told you guys. I mean, this is fucking. Miami ain't doing shit.
Okay, but Miami was fucking hella. I mean, they were fucking pulling people out of the stands to play defense.
It doesn't matter. They could have been fully healthy, and they still would have collapsed. They may have scored 14. Maybe.
You don't believe that.
I do, actually. 100% believe that because I don't believe in this team.
Affected that team?
Well, injuries affect every team.
So I agree with both of you. I think that what Ryan is saying is true.
Fucking
Like
fence sitter over here.
What?
The Dolphins really did have a ton of injuries. They had like no linebackers. Jalen Waddle was hurt. Tyreek was iffy. Just there was a lot of injuries on that team.
Yeah, I know.
But I also think that part of what Blake's saying is true, because I think we've all been kind of parroting the fact that the Dolphins have, for the most part this year, been a paper tiger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And
I think both things are true.
I mean, like, yeah, I get that. We're on to Cincinnati. I didn't have anything.
All right.
else
So
prepared.
which
The
one of
thought,
these games
like, was in there, and it was just like gone.
which one of these divisional round games do we want to talk first?
Whoa! You didn't
Well,
talk
we
about
already-
Bills
Oh, my bad.
Steelers, bro.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, the Bills beat the shit out of the Steelers.
I think Mike Tomlin's got to. I mean, if it wasn't for D'Amico Ryan, I think Mike Tomlin's got to be in consideration for Coach of the Year.
He's coach of the century for me.
Like,
Like never having
How do you get that team
losing
to the
season.
playoffs?
17 years
You
straight.
started Mason fucking Rudolph for what, the last 3 games of the season, and still made the playoffs?
God damn.
You started Mitch Trubisky for 3 games this year?
You started Mitch Trubisky.
like what are we doing? And you're making the playoffs? Unreal.
Hey, Mike, you want to talk about your contract?
He's ghost.
Yeah, that was a good presser too. But who asked that fucking question? I'm just saying we've had 2 stupid questions from reporters this week.
Thought you were going to go somewhere with that. I was like, don't go there.
What? Let a naysayer know?
No, I'm not going to say it out loud.
Get some water real quick.
I'm just
I
saying.
thought you were going to say female reporters asking stupid questions.
Well, I'm just saying. There's been 2 this week.
What was the other
If
one?
the shoe fits.
Asking Todd Bowles about fucking
Oh.
preparing for the weather.
Gosh.
You know, Aaron Andrews fucking saw that, was like, this bitch just set us back 30 years.
It was probably some local dipshit from like NPR or something. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't do her research. She's a college intern.
Never
didn't
watched
do
a
her
football game in her
research,
life.
Doesn't even know anything.
Mike Tomlin.
He's literally like, you know, it's
Hand egg.
gnome, right?
Yeah, we'll be outside for like 20 seconds.
No
We'll be
plans
fine.
to prepare for the 20-second walk from the bus.
Yeah.
All right, so
He could have just been like, well, you know, we're going to prepare for this like we do every game. We got a game plan in there. We're going to keep it close to the chest. It's playoff time, you know, and go Bucks. And then he just fucking leaves. Like, he could have been nice.
he could have, but here's the best part though.
He chose
He,
violence.
he responds, and then you could like he responds, and then he pauses because he's like, "Okay, I was a dick. I need to give a legit answer." And then he's like, "No plans for preparing for the weather." Like you could tell he responded like immediately out of like emotion. You know what I'm saying?
He's like,
He's
yeah,
like,
you
wait.
do know it's an indoor stadium, right? Like,
Let
it's
me
it's
be
a
a
dome.
professional here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
God damn it, this is gonna be a fine. All right, so we got 4 games this weekend, 2 NFC, 2 AFC. Winners will be meeting in the championship rounds. Championship Sunday. With the winners of those games going to the glorified Super Bowl.
Yep. So who we talking?
$1 billion game.
Which game we talking?
We're going to start with the first one. Houston at Baltimore.
It's gonna be cold, right? Like 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts, something like that.
Something like that. What do you think I look like a meteorologist, Blake?
I don't know. Come
I've
on.
got
Right now it
I've
says
got
28.
27-22. Yeah.
What, Rick?
I've got some
That's what
I've
we
got
just
some money on this game.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Really?
would you put money on?
Yep. The Ravens.
Rick was like, I bet that they're going to play a football game on Saturday in Baltimore. I'll put
Honestly,
$10
that's
on it.
I think that's pretty easy money. I would love to see the Texans train keep rolling.
The game starts at what time?
3:30
So 14 degrees.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, 14
you.
degrees game time.
Keith
in
just
Baltimore.
added meteorologist to his title on the show.
Shut up.
But yeah, I think the Ravens, talking about teams of destiny feel or whatever, right now they're just on a whole nother level. I think they are hands down the best team in football, or playing like the best team in football.
And it does look like Mark Andrews will be playing.
He is not. You're right.
Oh, he's not.
Which
He's
is
not playing.
crazy.
They're going to hold him out for another week because he's not quite there.
Interesting.
Even
I
so, just
likely
the fact that
been
he's close
falling
to
out.
being ready.
Yeah, that's
Which, I
crazy.
mean, but hey, getting him back for the AFC Championship would be a hell of a time to have him back for sure.
I'm like, I would expect to see him for that game. They're going to call Aaron Rodgers up and get whatever he took that one Bears game when we got Khalil Mack.
Ayahuasca.
I don't know what he took
No.
that time. That was some
Ayahuasca.
crazy painkillers. He was higher than a Georgia pine.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
I'll tell you what,
One of my favorite
like Ryan
clips.
said, I do love what the Texans have been doing. They're a fun young team. That offense looks phenomenal. But I'm also not blind to the fact that the Ravens have went out and embarrassed a lot of really, really good teams out there, even without Mark Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With kind of a hodgepodge of wide receivers. Zay Flowers looks like he'll be pretty promising for a while. But they went out and just absolutely embarrassed teams, like the San Francisco 49ers is probably the best example.
Yes.
But then you look at what they did to Miami when they were still relatively healthy. And they're playing in Baltimore. As much as I want the Texans to win, just because, you love to see it. You love to see that fan base finally getting something good going for them. I just don't see it, man. They're not going to be able to do the same game plan that they had against Joe Flacco, who is not a mobile quarterback. They can't blitz 80% of the time. Otherwise, Lamar Jackson's going to run for 250
Right, I
yards
was
on
gonna
them.
say he's gonna break
You know
some
what I'm
rushing
saying?
record. He's gonna break
Yeah.
Justin Fields.
Yeah.
He's gonna break his rushing record.
No, we
let
saw
us know what you think in the chat below. Who do you guys have there in the chat there? Ravens versus Texans. Give us your picks.
Danny,
But
who
anyways-
you got? Or, sorry, Rick.
Um,
did you make,
No,
Rick,
so I was going to say, what do you guys think? I got Ravens.
I was going to say, I feel like what Texas really needed to happen was the defense to really step up to make them a viable team in the playoffs, which they did, with Cleveland. However, I think more than likely that was just a one-off, and I don't think there's any way a really elite defense can really plan for someone like Lamar Jackson. So I just don't see this ending up any other way than Baltimore winning.
Keith.
I hate when teams rest like week 18. You'll hear me say this again here in a minute. Baltimore is going to win this game, but it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
I hope so.
Texans are going to stay in this game. CJ is going to lead them to a close game, and it's going to come down to the wire. They're going to be in it into the fourth quarter.
The
I
Wire.
hope so.
Baltimore. Sorry.
So here's my
Wire was in
thoughts on
Baltimore.
this.
It's a
I
really
know.
good show.
Go ahead, Blake.
Who did we have pegged as the number one defense in the league almost all year long?
The Ravens
The Ravens. I would say Cleveland.
or Cleveland.
Ryan was very adamantly that Cleveland was the best defense. Myles Garrett, probably defensive player of the year.
Hey, Ryan, can you delete that?
Delete
Yeah, I
what?
will. There's a bot that commented
Oh,
on
stupid
Twitch.
fucking bots.
I don't know how to do.
Hello, sorry to bother you.
Not that.
Wait, you
Stroud
got an
looked-
OnlyFans to put it back. Okay.
Stroud looked really good against
Click here to see my butthole.
Cleveland. Looked really good
He
against
did.
Cleveland.
He looked
right?
very good against Cleveland.
Flacco obviously threw, 2 pick sixes, I think, in that game.
Two
So
pick
you
sixes,
take
yeah.
those 14 points away. They still win that game, 32? What is that, 34? 34
I don't
to
remember the
14,
final score.
the math, I think,
Something like
the
that,
final
yeah.
score. So look at the week before that. They played Indianapolis, a very good, strong defense that takes the football away. They play fast, hard defense in Indianapolis. The offense is struggling, but the defense has played well. What happened? CJ Stroud was able to beat those defenses with those big reads. I think with Baltimore resting, there is a legitimate shot right now of Houston winning this game in a shootout. I'm going to be
Because-
honest with you.
You know,
Because
and I like the fact. Sorry, go ahead, Danny.
They're playing with house money. They have nothing to lose. There's no pressure
Right.
for them. If they go to Baltimore
That's
and they
true.
lose, they fucking lose.
No,
But
I
they
get
can
it.
play free. They can play loose. And right now they're playing for a football coach that fucking loves those dudes. And you can tell. Like, there's a
He's
culture
a former
around
Texan.
them.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, there's
he
a
is
culture
the Anthony
there.
Pierce of Texas, you know.
Who sounds like he's getting
rather.
hired in
Right.
Las Vegas.
And it's not a rhetorical
Yeah.
question at all. It's a legit question. Do you think that, because we're going back to the Indianapolis game, that the Texans can hold Baltimore in the game?
I
quarters.
think if Houston's going to win this game,
Like, keep
I think
them in the
it's gonna
game
be-
at least.
I think if Houston's going to win this game, it's going to be almost in a shootout, and whoever makes a mistake, a mental error, an interception, a turnover at a bad time.
Yeah.
But for my
I
official
could see
pick for
that.
this game, I am taking Houston. Give me Houston again. All alone.
Oh, wow.
2 weeks in a row for them.
Really? Okay.
I'll tell you what, the fact that we are even mentioning this as a possibility is really, really cool. You know, we just talked about what Bill O'Brien did to that franchise, just absolutely ran it into the ground. So the fact that they were able to make such a turnaround in such a short amount of time with a new coach, an awesome rookie quarterback, a lot of young talent on that team. It's awesome that we're even talking about this as a possibility. I agree. I think that
Lamar's
if
1-3
the
in the
Texans-
playoffs.
if the Texans do have a shot, I do think that it will be by way of a high-scoring affair. I don't think that their defense is going to be able to completely contain Lamar. I mean, he's had a phenomenal season in his own right. You know,
Oh, yeah.
So it should be one of the
Don't let me down,
more
Ryan.
entertaining games.
Don't let me down,
It should
Texans.
be-
Let's do this.
It should be one of the more entertaining games.
I hope so.
Next game, Ryan.
I'm going Baltimore for other also reasons that aren't not long-winded, so we can move on. Baltimore ran for like 1,000 more yards than Texas did this year,
Yes.
and like in football right now, with the way the defenses have shifted to be more geared towards passing, which is why offense as a whole in the NFL is down. They're showing why the running game, like this team right here is going to get other running backs paid.
Oh, hey.
Get out of here.
Well,
But just because they're showing the importance of like, hey, we're 13-4, we've been running the ball more or almost as much, you know, than any other team in the NFL. Like,
and they did just sign Dalvin Cook.
right? Which
Who is active?
Who is active?
Is he? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm taking the Ravens. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the rest actually helps them, and they are my team to come out of the AFC.
Agreed. Me too.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Next game.
Keith's Green Bay Packers. The Field of Jeans. The 49ers. And go.
You want me to go first?
Whoever, they're playing at
we know-
7:15
Go ahead,
on
Keith.
Saturday.
You know
oh, wait,
who I'm
hold
picking.
on. Wait,
Or
pause.
should keep going
Sorry.
last.
I'm
We don't know who
sorry.
you're picking.
I have to
You're
go
good.
back to the other game.
You're good.
The best thing to come out of this game is that one of my favorite bands growing up, for some reason, Jimmy Eat World is performing at the halftime of this game.
Oh
And they're
wow.
one of my favorite bands, and that's amazing. I love this.
That's awesome.
Green Bay, 49ers. They probably have like some robot doing a guitar solo because they're in San Francisco.
I haven't heard anything, so I have no idea.
Is that popular in San
It's
Francisco?
Fox.
I don't
It's
know.
Fox,
There's a lot
and
of
it's
smart
Fox.
people.
He's saying
All right,
can
Keith,
figure it
give us
out.
the breakdown. Tell us why you think the Packers will or will not come out on top against the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara, California.
So I do think we will win this game. We are, again, you can laugh all you want, but you don't have to put me big screen. I don't need to be big screen.
You can
My
put
hands
the
are off the
screen.
keyboard.
I won't talk. I'll just react.
You're fine. Well, the thing that scares me with the Packers and the 49ers game is the Packers' weakest point is our run defense. If we can find a way to neutralize that, if our offense can perform the way it performed in Dallas and has performed the last several weeks, we will compete in this game. This game will be close. I would take Jordan over Brock Purdy any day. You can sit there and laugh all you want, Blake. I don't care. I'm taking the Packers in this game, and they're going to win it. Anderson Carlson is going to come back and atone for all his sins and win us this game with a late field goal.
Someone cut Keith off. He's hammered.
I'm not.
Blake, what are your thoughts? What do you got, Blake?
Well, let's see here. Joe Barry is still calling the Packers defense, right?
And he did last week, too.
Yeah,
I was going to say, he did last week.
Yes. However,
and the Lions are a very good defense.
The who?
Sorry.
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys are a very good
The Cowboys
offense.
have no run game, correct? They had to pass the ball. Right? So you're saying you're going to try to compare CMC to Tony Pollard. It's not even comparable. Right? So let's say you put Jair, who's probably healthy now after his ankle. So you put him on probably Ayuk?
I don't know if he's healthy.
Right? So you'll have him on Ayuk. Now you got to have the other cornerback, whoever.
Jair doesn't really shadow. He doesn't really shadow anybody.
Okay, but you have to with San Francisco. You can't play a zone defense with that offense. You see what I'm saying?
I understand. I was making a point that Jair doesn't really shadow anybody.
So, to be honest with you, yes, Green Bay had a good defensive showing last week in Dallas. I mean, the defense the week before they played Chicago, and Luke Getsy called a dog shit game. I mean, there was no fucking passing attempts in the third quarter. So let's take that 9-point display out of it, right? So Bryce Young and Tommy DeVito had their fucking game of the weeks against these fucking.
You missed one. You missed one.
Who?
You missed Baker. You missed one.
Oh, Baker had a game of the week as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So Brock doesn't have to be elite. Brock doesn't have to be fucking crazy. But he's going to get the ball to his playmakers. If we're talking about Russ being a factor, I think if anything for healing purposes, it is going to be benefiting this team because Kittle's been banged up all year long. So is Debo. So that week off is going to give them help.
They haven't played in 3 weeks.
Right. So I think this will be probably a 10-point game. I mean, I think Green Bay hangs out and plays well, but I think eventually that defense cannot hold up against San Francisco. And It's going to be very similar to, 2 years ago we watched San Francisco and Seattle, and it was like, we're like, all right, Seattle's kind of hanging out in this game, and then all of a sudden you watch fucking CMC start running downhill on them, and they fucking destroyed them 46-13 or something. I think it'll be very similar.
Once that D-line gets banged up in the fourth quarter.
Hi. Hello. It's me.
I thought we figured this thing out finally.
Rick's got it figured out. He's a computer genius. And it's Friday. I'm just.
Ryan and I are hands off keyboard.
Huh?
Said Ryan and I are hands off keyboard. It's been Rick.
Yeah. So, the Niners are going to win, and they're going to win because they are, I just had this up, the third best rushing team in the NFL this season. The Ravens were first. Do you guys want to know who's in second? Who is the second best running team?
I'm going to guess the Bears.
Yeah, it was the Bears, man.
The Bears.
These guys. Anyways.
How'd their playoff game go?
It didn't happen. We lost.
I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
It happens.
You let me talk. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
I don't care. The Niners are just going to. I think Brock Purdy's going to have a shitty game, but the addition of CMC there is going to be what pulls them through. Like Purdy will be healthy, so they have a decent enough quarterback, but I think he's going to have probably 2 interceptions, maybe a touchdown, and 110 yards. But as you've said, your run defense is dog poop, and they are going to track that dog poop all over the field of jeans.
All right.
And it's going to be a lopsided score.
Danny?
70 to 0. 70 to -7.
70-0.
Jesus.
Negative points
Think
for
it's
the
gonna be that
Packers.
bad, huh?
They're gonna say, man, you guys stink so bad. We're taking a touchdown and a field goal.
All right.
Blink.
Nice. All right. Danny?
I don't have a lot of, as usual, don't have a lot of big statistics to throw out around. At the beginning of the year, when we were talking about Bears and Green Bay, I started out with saying that Jordan Love was the wild card of the division because we really didn't know how high his ceiling was. They squeaked in to the playoffs as a 7 seed. I think we all, except for Keith, thought, it was worth the participation trophy. I don't like the idea of even having a 7th seed in the playoffs, but they went and kicked Dallas's ass. Surprised the hell out of me. I think surprised the hell out of Rick too. So I still think of Jordan Love as being the wild card. Where I don't know where to place this guy. I still think the Niners are going to win, but after that Dallas game where I would have thought they would have gotten just blown out, now I'm like, oh shit, I give them, more of like a 65-35 on there, which is, a fighter's chance of winning that game.
Do you think we cover the spread?
Right now, the spread is set at
9.5.
9.5, yeah. Which I think is criminally.
That's almost
too
borderline
high.
disrespectful.
That is super disrespectful to the team that just fucking dog.
I think the Niners cover, but I think it's disrespectful as fuck.
I kind of see the game script honestly going the way that Blake was talking about, where it being a 1-score game going into the fourth quarter. And then by that time, the D line just being so banged up that they just run, and just get, 7 yards, 8 yards, 6 yards, 9 yards of rushes just over and over again. And then, a couple of play action passes and throwing them to the middle to get another 10 yards, this dink and dunk, long ass drives to blow it up in the fourth quarter. I'm rooting like hell for Green Bay, and this will be the last time I root for Green Bay because I think Green Bay needs a year or two of just being a shitty team, just so all the
more than a year
Blake-
or two, Danny. More than
Blake
a year
and
or
I
two.
need that.
no, just so all the bandwagoners can leave because they got Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, and if Jordan Love is the real deal, I think that's kind of bullshit to not have, a season. Not saying a season like a year, but a season as in an era of rebuilding, a period of rebuilding.
We had 3 months.
That's
That
not
was
fair.
enough.
The golden era.
So
Hey, the Blackhawks won.
Yes, they did in overtime.
that's my 2 cents. That's all I got.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I guess I'll give my take on it. So I agree. I think that the San Francisco 49ers, like I had mentioned earlier, I just don't see a situation where any team in the AFC can overtake, or excuse me, the NFC can overtake them right now. They are loaded from top to bottom on every single spot on that roster on both sides of the ball. They've got depth pretty much everywhere. They've got a great core receivers, obviously the top 2 receivers being Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. But they got some depth pieces there that are pretty nice as well. Brock Purdy, I don't think at any point in his tenure with the San Francisco 49ers has had to be elite, but he's been damn good. He has been exactly what they've asked him to be. Right.
So where I was last year on him and where I am now of dude passed for over 4,000 yards. He's a good quarterback. You have to give it to him. That's where I'm at right now with Jordan Love. Okay, you impressed me. Do it again.
Right.
Step it up a little bit. I think Brock Purdy did that pretty well this year. And, like you're saying, he's a good quarterback.
100%. But anyway, no, I feel like that team is just too much to deal with right now for anybody not named the Baltimore Ravens. I love what Green Bay has done, and it pains me to say it because I absolutely hate the San Francisco 49ers, but they're just a headache to deal with. Their defense equally as stacked. I mean, they've got the likes of Fred Warner, Chase Young, Nick Bosa, just, coming at you
They were
And-
already stout, and then they
Yeah.
traded
Right.
for
100%.
fucking Chase Young.
Right. That's exactly my point. So I think that, but one thing to Jordan Love's credit, that one of my friends pointed out, and maybe has like maybe a reasoning behind why Dallas couldn't really get any pressures or sacks. To Jordan Love's credit, it seemed like every time they snapped the ball, like he quickly, did like a 10-step drop before he started reading the defense. So like that, they couldn't be anywhere near him before he started, getting his reads and everything. So credit to him on that.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it. I hope that the Packers win. I think that if they can play anything like they played last week from an offensive standpoint, because I credit to them for what they did on defense. I don't think they do it against this Niners offense. But if they can be anything like they were last week, they probably could have a good or decent game. But I think the best you can probably hope for is that they are within one or, dare I say, two scores going into the fourth. And I think that San Francisco just wears them out. I don't think that they're going to be able to sustain enough drives or long enough drives against that defense to keep the Niners offense off the field. And I think that the inverse can be said in truth about the Niners. I think that they can sustain drives. They've got the ability to make big plays with Brandon Ayuk, Brock Purdy taking deep shots at Brandon Ayuk down the field. And so while I am rooting for the Packers just because I would love to see the Lions host the NFC Championship, you
Right.
don't bet with your heart, and that's kind of the direction that I go with it.
2 more games.
What was that? Whoa, what
I'm on
the
the top.
hell?
I'm on the top.
What the
Oh, I'm scared. Oh. Welcome back.
Hold me.
Clearly, we don't know what the fuck's going on.
So as the clock turns on the field of jeans after getting the Packers doo-doo scraped all up and down the field.
Can I say one more thing? Just
No.
okay.
We're on to Cincinnati. Actually, we're on to Detroit as the Buccaneers go to the Motor City.
We're on to
And-
Cincinnati.
We're on to Cincinnati. Yeah, the Bucks are playing the Lions. I had a thing and I forgot it. It's a football game and it's on a Sunday. That's what I gotta say about it. 2:00. Weather. No weather. It's in a dome. Stupid.
Weather will not be a factor in this game.
Well, hell, while we're at it, Ryan, you're first up, man. Give us your take. Lions versus Bucks.
I think that the Lions are going to be the Super Bowl playing Lions because of the momentum that they have carried and built on, and they're just going to keep it going. They're like the juggernaut. They got that momentum, and they get more dangerous. That's fucking Dan Campbell, eating kneecaps on the way.
I love you, man.
I love you. Yeah, Lions by. The spread is -6. Detroit. Yeah, I think Detroit beats that.
Yeah, I think I'd take the over too.
Yeah.
We'll switch it up a little bit. Danny?
Yeah, I think this might be the closest game. And going in, looking at, I know Philly is having a lot of problems. I don't know what exactly happened to them, but watching, Baker Mayfield the last couple of weeks, he's looking. I'm not saying he's looking elite, but he's looking like he's a quarterback who's absolutely doing everything that he needs to do with the pieces that he has. And Evans is looking great right now too. God, I think I think Detroit's going to win, but I think it's going to be one of those games that comes to a last-second field goal, and Detroit's going to win.
Interesting take.
I got something to add on. You brought up Baker, and that made me think about a point I was going to make with Jordan Love, in that, like, you're now seeing the unfiltered 100% Matt LaFleur offense with him. Like, he doesn't audible out of plays like Aaron Rodgers did, you know.
Yeah,
but he doesn't do it as much.
He doesn't do it every fucking play.
Right. But what I'm saying, and the same with Baker and why he's been so successful this year, and I think he picked it up when he had those starts in L.A. with McVay. Didn't need to rhyme that. But
LA with McVay.
Green eggs and ham. But, like, you've got two quarterbacks that are really the, like, full definition of what a system quarterback would be, in that they're trusting that offensive system and playing in that system, which is built around their strengths. And I just, same with Jared Goff, I guess, too. But I just, again, wanted to give Jordan Love his flowers, Keith. He's doing it well.
Thanks, buddy.
Keith?
What's up? All right, so I think the Lions will win this game. I think Baker finally comes back down to Bakerville, where he's a mediocre quarterback.
Oh.
And I like
That's
Baker.
harsh.
I like Baker. I like
Damn.
Baker. Baker won me a fantasy football championship. I like Baker.
Me too.
The ring, it's over there. But I think the Lions are gonna win this game, and then they're gonna host the Packers next weekend. And I'm gonna miss the game, but it's okay. I'll be with my buddy Blake talking all this shit in the world.
As I'm in a fucking Justin Fields jersey on a fucking plane next to him talking shit.
Go ahead.
All right, Blake.
Fucking flight. This one's easy.
I want to make it short, sir.
What?
I want to make mine short.
Yeah, mine will be short. This is easy for me. I agree with Keith. I think Baker comes back to reality. Baker's had a great season, right? But he's in the NFC South, where they don't really play football. They play like flag something.
They're the definition of bless their heart.
Yeah. I mean, right? Like, yes, they beat Philadelphia last week. You could say they beat the shit out of them. They didn't beat the shit out of them. Whatever. They won the game by a lot. Philly's dysfunctional as shit. I think we also forget the Giants beat the dog shit out of Philly the last game of the season. So this one's easy. I think Lions win this by at least 2 touchdowns. Easy.
Fair enough.
Easy.
I'm not going to really say anything different. I mean, there's not a lot to be said here. Baker, I think, give him credit. He showed up, and not much was expected of him. He had a pretty solid year, especially these past several weeks. Has looked really, really good. But I don't think that this is going to be a close game whatsoever. I think that this is going to be, I think it could be as embarrassing, if not worse, than what Green Bay did to Dallas. I think that Detroit, with that atmosphere that they have at home, hosting their second playoff game for the first time in, plus 30 years. What do you think that stadium is going to be like with a chance to go to the NFC Championship?
With fucking Kid Rock singing the national anthem.
If things work out in Santa Clara, hosting the NFC Championship.
Stop.
The fans in that place are going to be absolutely rabid. The Lions look like a legitimately good team. They've played phenomenal. They've been one of the best offenses in the league. They're just a fun, chippy team, and I don't see this being a close game whatsoever. I think that the Lions absolutely boat race the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I want some scientist or a cheesy sports radio station or whatever to hire out a seismologist. Or no.
Seismologist?
Not a seismologist, a seismograph. Or is that what they're called? Whatever it is that measures earthquakes. And get the rating, just outside of the stadium, once they score, or if they win, just to see like.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I like
The
how Cam
decibels,
just
I'm
saw
sure, the
fucking
decibels in
TV
that
come
stadium, I'm
fucking
sure, are going to
arms
be
together
nuts.
and just
I
talk
feel like an island boy by saying it's a close game.
I'm an island boy.
Yeah.
I need to make like a little drop for that. Island boy.
Yeah.
Well,
and
yeah,
then,
maybe for the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah. What?
Whatever.
What?
Because
we'll
Chiefs-
still be able to do that with
like
the
week 2.
Well, we'll be able to have it for the US or the UFL, excuse me.
That's true.
We're not watching USFL here. Fuck that.
I'll watch
UFL.
No, yeah, I'm gonna watch.
UFL.
So I said we're not watching the
UFL.
USFL.
Chiefs, Bills, Orchard Park. Gonna be a snowy and cold one.
Maybe on Sunday, maybe on Monday.
It's gonna be on.
It's
Sunday.
gonna be on Sunday.
It's the last game.
Yeah.
At
We'll switch it up a
5:30.
little bit. Danny, give us your pick.
Okay. What I think is going to happen, I think the Bills are going to be winning the game the whole time, but the refs are going to drag the Chiefs through the entire
The
game.
script writers.
I think the script writers need more Swifties watching this. And I think they're going to keep them in the game all the way through. And I think the Chiefs are going to win by some bullshit at the end. Like Chiefs are going to get a drive.
Arius Tony lining up on.
But it's going to be
He
like
ain't
3 bullshit calls.
He's not playing.
leading up to
Ain't
it.
playing.
And I think Bill's going to win the entire time, and then by the last drive, the Chiefs end up winning.
Andy Reid, like, fuck you, dude. We're not playing you. You fucking cost us the game last time. Your ass is sitting on the fucking bench.
Tony hasn't suited up in the last like 4 or 5 games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that
What?
'cause his hands are bricks and he can't fucking tie anything?
Dum, dum.
This is an easy one for me. I think Gabe Davis will be back for Buffalo. Kincaid's starting to look good like we thought he would. Josh Allen is that dude.
Dawson Knox is healthy, I believe.
Dawson Knox is healthy. Yeah, give me the Bills here. I think Bills actually by 10.
Damn.
Okay.
Not this time. Not this time, KC. They're going to be throwing fucking dildos down at Kelsey. It's going to be
He's
fucking
gonna-
interesting. He's
like
gonna be
that.
catching a dildo.
There's a holding call over
Hitting him
there.
in the
Alrighty, boys. We get to see something for the first time ever this week. We get to see Patrick Mahomes play a playoff game on the road.
Eat a dildo.
He's
Bildo.
what in the actual fuck was that?
I don't know.
Danny went
Something
through a
going on
table.
in my neighborhood.
All right,
What
Keith,
was
what you
that?
got?
Was that a shooting?
No, not this time.
Not this.
Something happens out there. 2 weeks ago, there was.
That's the
I'm
unknown.
waiting for it to happen while we're on the air.
It's Patrick Mahomes on the road in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes looked like Patrick Mahomes last week a little bit. But I'm still taking the Bills at home.
Bills, baby.
And they're going to host the NFC. Who did I pick? They're going to go play in Baltimore.
Wrong to Cincinnati.
They're going to host the game that will be in Baltimore.
They're hosting. They're hosting the game.
They're hosting a
on-
party at their team hotel.
on Sunday. Yes. But I'm picking the Bills, and I'm going to pick them by 5.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
30.
Keith and I will miss this game. We will be. Oh, no. I'm high. Ignore me.
Now, since this is going to be a snow game or a cold weather game, we actually have our own Yeti here at the BAM Sports Show. One, Ryan Capronica, give us your pick.
Chewy? Chewy?
It is a tough one to call. Vegas has this as the smallest spread. They've got Buffalo 2.5, which, again, I think anything around that area is like
A push.
it's home field advantage. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think that, man, I think that the Bills win this one.
Ooh.
I think that they win this one. I wanted to say Kansas City, but I'm just not confident in that team at all offensively. And it's not Patrick Mahomes' fault.
Keep
I
in
think-
mind, Bills are having
I think-
open tryouts for linebackers this week.
That's true. I'm actually flying out there tomorrow. But no, like I think we're seeing the threshold for Patrick Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes, as in like hero ball can only go as far as we're seeing right now
Yes.
with him, because
Not the NBA.
he has nothing around him outside of Kelsey,
And Pacheco.
But Kelsey's hands are all slimy from
Touching Taylor.
Swifty.
Taylor's
No.
taint
Swifty.
Swift. Swafting the Swifter. Snifting the Swaffer.
Swifter, quicker, picker upper.
That sounds like two different things. But yeah, my heart wants to say Chiefs, but my brain right now is saying Bills. But I'm either way on this one. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be an ugly game, but a good game.
Fair enough.
Rick.
I think that Danny made a good point. I think that to me, looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, that team doesn't scare me at all in the AFC right now. They had a good game against a very hobbled, already paper tiger team in the Miami Dolphins in Kansas City last week. But outside of that, the Chiefs have had, quite honestly, a terrible year. There was a lot of games that I felt like the refs really, kind of drugged them across the finish line. With that being said, it would really take, I think that there is a big enough disadvantage from a complete roster standpoint and skill level, just, top to bottom on the entire roster between the Chiefs and the Bills, that it would really take some like super heavy interference from the refs to get the Chiefs over this one. And I just don't think that there's going to be enough there. I think that the Bills are going to run the table on the Chiefs. I absolutely think that they'll cover the spread. I think that's actually pretty generous. I would smash the over on this all day long. I think that it's going to be I think that the Bills are going to win this one by a lot.
Yeah.
I just see this
somewhere in the neighborhood of like 32-10.
I just see this fourth quarter. Mahomes is back 3-18, throws a bomb. No one's in the area, and the refs call pass interference on just an absolute bullshit thing. Keeps them back in the drive,
outfield.
And then they come back. They're going into like the last, 5 minutes left. They're only down by a touchdown. I just see that happening that way.
How crazy! Like 3 weeks ago, we were talking about the Bills potentially missing the playoffs.
I know.
And now Keith is thinking they're going to be hosting the game in Baltimore.
They are. They're hosting the game in Baltimore. You didn't know? That's how it works now.
Technically,
they're hosting team executives in a suite in Baltimore, is what he meant.
That's what I was going to say.
What will end up happening is they will end up hosting the Houston Texans in Buffalo.
But I couldn't say that when I already picked.
You could make the flip and join me on this lone wolf.
I don't want to.
Just saying.
You picked the Chiefs?
No, I picked.
I'm the only one who picked the Chiefs.
I'm the only one that picked the Houston Texans again.
Oh, yeah, that stupid idiot decision.
It was bad last week too, huh?
So was mine. Remember, my pick was bad last week.
All right.
Well,
can't win them all, guys, or any of them if you're me.
We're used to making bad decisions.
We still have. I want to bring this up, and I'm sure he's going to get pissed off at me for this, but I want to ask.
You son of a bitch.
No, not you, Keith.
Not me. Okay.
When do we get to see that coveted mayonnaise coffee?
Like we've said 14,000 times, both on the show and in the group chat. It'll be on Friday when Keith and I are together for the Royal Rumble. Remember?
Making out, touching tips.
I'm just really looking forward to
coffee.
It's not a fantasy punishment, but man,
it's a fantasy for Rick.
It's just going to be funny. It's just going to be funny, and I can't wait to drop. It'll be another thing to add to the the
The
punishment.
bullshit that I've had to do on this fucking show for the Chicago fucking Bears.
Yep. Also, Ryan still owes us a combine.
I do.
There's still snow on the ground, my friend.
Still, yeah, I was gonna say snow and ice right now, bud.
That's football weather, boy.
That's football weather,
Yeah, that's
boy.
That's football weather.
Yeah, that's
He's
not
also-
combine. That's not
he's also-
combine weather.
He's also 40 almost, and will pull a hamstring.
38, sir.
Sorry, I'm closer to 40 than you. I'm sorry.
Cocksucker.
I'm like
Swearing
2
to-
months away. My
So,
last thing on the Packers. If the
football.
season ends,
Hey.
the season ends on Saturday, I'm okay. I'll be okay. This is
I know
great
we don't
fun
have a
football.
lot of time left.
We
You
have all
guys
the
are
time in the
going.
world.
Okay, you guys are going to the Royal Rumble. Last
Rumble,
year,
rumble.
you told us to make picks. I don't really know how this works. Like you
Just
say,
pick a
like
number.
pick a number. Can we do that again? Do
you wanna do it next
through
week
what
or-
happens?
Do you want to do it this week or you want to do it next week?
I was going to do it next week because it'll be
Next
the night
week?
before the
Oh.
show.
Okay,
The
perfect.
night before
And
the Rumble.
I'll just all you gotta do is pick a number and then that's your entrant
69, baby.
between 1 and 30.
Yes, sir.
I'm dirty.
Which
So
one's
that's-
Doink?
I hope Doink shows up.
I hope he's picked 420.
Is there someone, Keith, that you're like, man, I fucking hope this music pops? Who is it?
There's
Doink.
one I hope doesn't hit,
And that's Brock Lesnar.
and that's Brock's. If his music hits in the fucking, I don't
You know whose music I hope hits?
lives probably.
Ronda Rousey.
Okay, I want Livs too, but for the men's, what music do you hope?
I don't know. I hope Sheamus comes back. He's been gone for a while.
Yes, he has.
I hope
Bring back the
Sammy.
Undertaker.
I hope Sammy comes back.
So, yeah. Because he's got stitches, right?
Yeah, we haven't had staples. And he had 9 staples in his dome.
I think we'll see Sammy. I think that's a safe bet. You know what I hope we hear? Bro.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
I know it's not, but I
What?
hope it does.
Which one?
Matt Riddle.
Matt Riddle. Know what I hope we do here?
What?
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
I think we'll see. I think we'll have The Rock show up. I think after the Fatal 4-Way, I think The Rock will show up.
I hope so.
But Roman Reigns is not slated for Elimination Chamber, so that match is not happening at Elimination Chamber.
Correct. Yes.
So that'll be interesting.
Indeed.
But yeah, next week we can pick numbers, and that'll be your entrant, and then
Cool.
I'll tell you who your wrestler was on Blake can.
I'm
Hell yeah.
too edible doubt.
Wait,
I will-
can Logan Paul or Jake Paul? Which one's the one that did it?
Logan
Logan has a
Logan
match.
has a match
Because he is the current United States champion.
until next Saturday when he loses to KO.
Bring back Johnny Knoxville.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a fun. That was a fun Rumble.
Awesome.
I was
Yeah,
at that
the Rumble, I thought he was
That's
gonna
the
wrestle.
Rumble.
Wait,
Yeah.
hear
We're at
me
that
out.
Rumble.
Hear me out. Just kind of, going along the Jackass theme. What if Wee Man becomes the new Dink the Clown?
Oh, you got Doink and Dink.
You're gonna have.
Yeah.
people
And then
fucking
Shaq
having
comes and he
straight
can be Dunk
anxiety
the Clown.
attacks.
Dunk the Clown. Yeah, there you
We're gonna
go.
have straight up anxiety
Oh,
attacks. A
fuck.
midget clown.
I would
actually
die
get into
of a heart
wrestling.
attack. Because that would be frightening to me. I don't like clowns. I don't like them.
He
They're
is getting
scary.
pretty old though.
Who?
Which is why none of us like the
Um,
Dallas Cowboys.
Wee Man. Isn't he in his 50s now?
I mean, he fucking body slammed fucking Sami Zayn 2 years ago, year and a half ago, fucking
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
No shit.
Wee Man did?
We
Yeah.
made it. Yeah. We
He
made
came out from
Don't
under
you
the
guys
ring.
know about those fucking skateboarder legs? You've never seen my legs. I got fucking tree trunks.
I don't know that
His
you call
legs are
Wee Man's
like,
legs
you know.
legs. They're little sausage legs.
We man is like 70% legs.
It's
I
just
think-
no torso. It's just legs all the way up to his neck.
I sent you
He
guys some
looks
of those
like a
videos.
drawing.
I sent you those videos of that midget wrestling I went to a couple months ago.
Yes.
There's a
That's
reality
pretty
show
sweet.
coming out with that.
Yeah.
There's actually the right next to the arena where the Jacksonville Sharks play. There's a place called That Bar at the arena, and they have midget wrestling there like every couple of months or so.
What if WWE branded something like Fun Size?
That'd be fun.
WWE Fun Size.
Sponsors.
All right, we're gonna get out of here before we get another fucking strike on YouTube tonight. Great show. We hope everybody stays warm this weekend. Stay safe as always with this bullshit weather coming through. Enjoy
Mother
football.
Nature.
Hopefully your teams win. Hopefully your team does not, Keith.
I hope that his
back
team win.
next Friday with Keith and I live in Tampa, Florida. Hopefully with Rick joining us. These two other losers will be joining us remotely like always, but we'll be back next week. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Goodbye.
Peace.